Hello and welcome to Rod's Tabletop Hardball. Today we have an unboxing of a product that you will probably not be able to guess if you try to guess what this product is. But there are other tabletop YouTube streamers that use this product, and I couldn't wait to get it once I saw it available on eBay. So that's your only clue. I'm going to start unboxing this thing right now. Got the trusty Boy Scout knife. What's the best way to do this? Let's see. A very simple boxing job here. There's just one on this side. One on this side. So that was pretty much it. That's crazy how quick that is. Interior just has some foam. Let's see how it comes out easily. And it's as simple as that. The coolest part about this is I think it's just new in box. But this box is from 1989-ish or 1987-ish. And it's called the Baseball Card All-Star Game. Now, it doesn't come with any baseball cards. But it does come with what is the playing board for baseball demos and RJL Network, which I just thought was great. There may be a backdrop here if my game is in as good a shape as it should be. Ages 7 to adults. You see, I'm an adult, so I'm in the range of the age. I'm not just buying a toy. I'm buying something that's in my age range. Basically, this is a all-star game where you take regular baseball cards, you throw some dice, you compare the stats on the back of the cards, and it does come with some holders. They do look like they're kind of cardboardy. I was almost thinking I could put APA cards inside those little slots. We're going to have to take a look at it and find out. All right, before I pop this open, I just want to let you know this thing is fully sealed in its original cellophane. So I'm just carefully took some slits along the top of the box. You can see they even had a hanger. Oh, the hanger's broke. It's no longer mint. But I think I can just pop the top of this box open after opening those slits. And voila, we got a game box. Let's see what's inside the game box. First off, the amazing game board that's used by baseball demos and RJL Network and all those fun people. And there it is. Oh, it's nice and small. I like the size of it. But there's home plate, and you got the childhood-looking pitcher's mound there with the big league baseball on there. And I've even got little scoring discs. I bet you there's a scoreboard and an innings thing that goes along with this. Interesting stuff. What else is in this box? Oh, it's got the rules, the Big League Baseball conversion chart. I almost need to play a game with this because look at that. It's got batting average. Your baseball card has a batting average this, or this. Less than 20 home runs. This is pretty easy to read because it's made for ages 7 to adult. And there's 20 or more home runs, so your Jose Canseco type of guy or someone will pop the ball out of the park. But you can see they got guys below the Mendoza line, 200 to 219, 220 to 239, and so on. How interesting. These are the game boards. This is like a very rudimentary version of a Stratomatic or a APA or whatever you want to call it. So let's see what so it just kind of folds. It folds out. I think it folds into a tent of sorts. Oh, wow. This is far more than I expected. I kind of bought this on a whim, and I literally only paid like $22 for it. It was listed at $20. I asked for $17, and they accepted it. I don't want to break it here, but wow, there's your tabletop tent right there. Start rolling some dice. I think it just takes 2 dice. Your less than 20 home run guys, and there's the 20 or more home run guys. So that means there's 2 styles of hitters in Major League Baseball at the time, and that was it. What else do we get in here? Oh, this is the ball field. Look at this. Oh my, it gets better. It's there you are, your home, your inning, and your visitors board. So you throw that out there in the outfield. You got some bleachers as well. So then you run that along the super outfield. And then they've got these little baseball card holders, which I did see. I don't wonder if these would work for APA cards. I'm not really certain, but once again, you just take the slits out, you slide the cards in, and you play yourself some big league baseball. You got a batting order of 9 guys for 2 sides. It's also got a set of a pair of dice. And I'm going to guess those little stands, those are probably for turning the home, the inning, and the visiting score as well. So, wow. Kind of fun. But anyway, it shows how it goes together. I just got to weasel that thing into the slots, the slits, and these slits go into the board itself, I believe, and the next thing you know, you've got yourself a baseball game. Wow, that is quite inventive. I don't remember seeing this back in '89, but this is really a cool board. The board itself's in pretty good, a nice sturdy board. So there's definitely some potential to use this for an APA simulation. I've just got to figure out where to put my boards in relation to it. So, wow, this is quite a setup. And see, there you have it. I went down the rabbit hole and I started assembling some things, and here's what we got. The baseball card all-star game. I believe this is from 1989 or 88 or 87. Children, cap toys. But bam, you got a full outfield. I didn't fully assemble it. I might want to keep those slits in case I do not end up using the scoreboard. But I don't know if I did a broadcast of a game, could anyone read the visitors just scored a run, or if I just turn the inning to the second or the third, the home scores 1, 2, or 3. I'd really have to zoom in on that, I think, in order to make that to work. But I could do that. I could possibly do that as well. But you can see Ready to Bear over here. He's a little bit stunned by the whole setup. He can't believe for $20 or $22, it was $17 plus $5 shipping, that I got this much of a setup, and including a big league baseball conversion chart, which will allow me to play my baseball cards. And I got plenty of extra baseball cards. I should just get out and see how well this game flows. I could actually play a game without even thinking. The game would probably be very simple, and it would be based on Major League Baseball statistics. And I'd have to find a set of cards and put out a catcher through first, second, third, short, all the outfield positions in a pitcher, and see what happens. Or maybe I'll have a DH if I want to have a DH at every position. But this is what the setup looks like for Baseball Card All-Star Game by Cap Toys. And ages 7 to adult. And you can play this game fully playable. There's your 2 dice that came with the game as well. And it looks like a very playable game, a lot of fun. Certainly kids who have a lot of extra baseball cards would have a good time with this. I'm thinking of trying to utilize this as a game board for my APA cards. So then when a guy gets on first base, I just place his card right there, which is what they want you to do with the baseball cards if they get on base as well. So it'd be interesting to see how this game plays out. And I'm going to have to get some baseball cards out and try it out. Alrighty, I have found some old baseball cards, and I'm going to put together an inning or 2 of this game. Baseball Card All-Star Game, and let's see how this thing works out just for the fun of it. Basically, you have a choice of using career years and batting average and home runs, or their most recent season, or managers just choose a certain strategy, and both managers would have to abide by the same strategy. So I'm just going to go with the most recent season for each of these players. And the lineup very quickly for I'm not going to call them Team A, is going to be Alan Trammell, Chris Brown at third, Mickey Mantle in center, Jim Rice in left, Dave Winfield in right, Carlos Pena at first base, Mickey Tettleton at catcher, Randy Reddy at second base. Pitching for Team A is going to be Dennis Oil Can Boyd at 86 Donruss. On the right side here, we got Willie Randolph at second base, George Brett at third, Ken Griffey Jr. Playing some center field, Barry Bonds playing some left field, Darryl Strawberry, the Mets, playing right field. I got some Chris Chambliss action at first base, Bob Boone, veteran when he was with the Royals at the end of his career, Bobby Meacham, shortstop, and the pitcher's Mike Scott. And basically all pitchers are considered to be in the lowest category. That would concern under 200 average and less than 20 home runs. So, as you can quickly tell, there really isn't a lot of emphasis on the pitching stats. It's just a recreational game for kids, age 7 to adult, which is me. And we'll just try an inning out, see how it goes, just for fun. And we're going to start with the great Alan Trammell. And Tram's most recent year here in '89, he hit just 243 with just 5 homers. So he is in the category of, let's see, 243 with not many homers. He's just in the 240 to 259 category. And I got the scoreboard working here. Let's put it on inning 1 for the fun of it. This is a pretty nifty little scoreboard, actually. The numbers were a little bigger. I love it. But let's see what happens with Alan Trammell. You get a 4 and you get 243, so it's a single. Any runners advance 2 bases. So you take Trammell and you throw him right there, and all of a sudden you got a runner on first base. And the next batter is Chris Brown. Ooh. Let's see what Brown looks like here. 1987 Brown. Oh, it's got split stats. I'll just use the most recent. Well, he's 232 to 242. Ooh. I'll go with the higher one. 242, because he's going to be at least 240. And the home runs, it looks like he's got about 6 with each team. So that's about 12 homers. That's going to be about the 240s. One right there. Let's see what he does. Roll a 10. And it's a double. Any runners advance 3 bases. So the Team A is going to go up 1-0 as Trammell scores on the double by Chris Brown. So you put old Chris Brown on second base. Great hit. Nobody's getting out here in the game. Now we've got Mickey Mantle. Mantle, reasonably good player. Had a year or two that were pretty good, kind of famous. Let's see what he has. 1964 stats. This is a replica card, not a real card. 303 average and 35 dingers. So that's definitely going to be a factor as he stands in at the dish. We switch over to the 20 or more homers and 303, so that's going to be about as good as you can get right there. And that's a 10, and that's a home run. So Mantle smacks one out of the park. There's no pitching so far. Chris Brown will score on that play, and the score is already 3-0 with no outs in inning number 1. I don't know if I'll have a 5-run limit at this case. James Edward Rice had an off year, 13 homers, a little bit injured, 277 average. So we go to the under 20 and 277. So we're going to go off this column right here. Rice gets an 8. Ground ball to second, out at first. So we got 1 out. Rice is done. Well, I don't see an out chart, so we'll just count 1 out. Big Dave Winfield stands in on the disabled list, so we'll go with his last prior year. 322, 25 homers. And that's pretty dang good. So we're going to use this chart right here. More than 20 homers, 322. This is pretty much Babe Ruth. 8 single, any runners advance 2 bases. So Dave is on with 1 out. Batter is Carlos Pena. And he is 227 with, where's his home runs? Led the league with 39. Bad batting average, great homers. 20 or more, 229. Okay, he's right here. Let's see what happens with big old Carlos. 8, ground ball to first. Any runners advance 1 base. So there's 2 outs, and Dave Winfield has advanced to second base, and the batter is Mickey Tettleton. Tettleton, 263, 31 homers. Steps to the plate. 263. Here we go. We're going with this alley right here. 2 outs. It's already 3-0. Team A of All-Stars is winning, and that's going to be fly out to left field. And that will retire the side. So great effort. Let's see. I'm going to put his card kind of sideways because he was the last guy who had batted. Or maybe I'll just make the next guy sideways because he will be the next guy to bat, Randy Reddy. So now we'll play the bottom of the first, and the leadoff man will be the classic Willie Randolph. As a Dodger, actually. He actually he'd been a Yankee since 1976 here. So we're going to go with the 230 average and just 2 homers. So that's not going to be that impressive, but you never know with Willie Slick Randolph here. 200, what was it, 230? Okay, 230 and 2 homers. So it's going to be this one right here, third column. Oh, Dave's down. Have a seat, Dave. Get back in the outfield. He's playing right field. And that's a 10. Ground ball to third. Lead runner out. So Willie Randolph leads off with a ground out. Big George. George Brett, 1986-85 season, had a great year. 335 with 30 home runs. Well, here we are. The luxury column here. That's a 7. Strikeout. So Big George went for the downs, and he's down. The strikeout was by Dennis Oil Can Boyd. Ken Griffey Jr. stands in. Well, 264 with 16 dingers, so he's below 20. And 16 dingers. What do we got here? 264. Here we go. Junior. 7 strikeouts. Strikeout on 7 every, right down. It's like craps or something. You crapped out. You rolled a 7. So Griffey's gone. That was a 1-2-3 inning. And we get to go to inning number 2. And it is 3-0. So Griffey's gone. The next batter will be Barry Bonds. He's pretty decent. Randy Reddy will lead off the top of the second for Team A. Team B down 3-0. Randy Reddy, 12 dingers. And 309. Ooh, that's pretty good. It's below 20, but it's 309. Okay, here we go. Randy Reddy gets a 6. Ground ball to third, lead runner out, so it's just 1 out. The pitcher slot is going to be Oil Can Boyd. That's apparently defaulted to the lowest of all of them, under 200. Less than 20 homers. Going to roll a 6. Ground out ball to the pitcher, and that'll be out number 2. And the leadoff man will be Chris Brown. No, I had Trammell in the leadoff spot. There we go. Alan Trammell. What was his? 243 and 5. So low average there. 243, less than 20, and a 9 is a ground ball out. So that was 3 outs just like that. So we're in the second. It's bottom of the second. Team B gets to bat. Gets to try to come back. Barry Bonds, a pretty decent outfielder. 25 dingers, 261? No. Yeah, 261. And 25 dingers. So he's over the 20 mark. 265. Barry Bonds, pre-steroids. Here we go. Number 10. And it's gone. 10 is a homer for a lot of these things. And Barry gets Team B on the board. 1. It's 3-1. Barry yanks it out of here. Batter is Darryl Strawberry. And the straw from 1987 stats, 39 and a 284? Wow, that's a good year. 284.39. 284.39. All right, it's this column. No outs. 10 gone back to back. Strawberry and Bonds. 2 great major leaguers. Here we go. 3-2. No outs still. Chris Chambliss says, let me have some of that. Well, what did Chris do? He went 1985. Ooh, just 235 with 3 homers. I did not know that. 235, 3 homers, and here we go. It's an 8. Fly out. And so Chambliss has to take a powder. This little card holder is actually kind of cool. Kind of keeps track of your batting order while you're batting. And here comes Bob Boone. Booney. Looks like about 239, perhaps. It's very small writing. Less than 20 home runs. So we got 1 down. And less than 20. Here we go. Column 3. And he gets a 7. Strike 3. K corner. And that's a strikeout for Dennis Oil Can Boyd. 2 outs. Meacham standing in. What's he at? 271, 5 homers. 271, 5 homers. You look up a 7. We know that's a strikeout. And that is the retiring the side. And so after 2 innings, it is 3-2 Team A. Team A, which has guys like Mickey Mantle and Jim Rice and Dave Winfield. So let's do an inning 3 and see who can win this game. I can't remember if I got... Who did I bat last? I think I went Reddy, Can, and Trammell. And I think Chris Brown is up. Oh, yeah, I got to remember who's here. Meacham Scott will lead off the next inning. Okay, that's the only thing that you got to remember. Who batted last? Chris Brown, I can't recall. 232 and 6 home runs. So it's column 3. And you get a 7. K corner for Chris Brown. Why even pick up the chart? That's 1 out. Mick, 303, 35. We know that's the big column 10 or whatever it is, and that's a 5. A 5 is fly out to right field. 2 down, just like that. Yeah, game moves pretty fast. And the batter's Jim Ed Rice. Jim Rice, the big bopping 277. Was it 277? 277, 13 dingers. And that's a 6. He'd normally be 20 and above. 277, and we roll a 6. Ground out. So 1, 2, 3. Rice is down. So in case we go to extra innings, I'm throwing Dave Winfield there. So they need 1 to tie, 2 to win. And Mike Scott will be the batter. We are going, do we pinch hit? We've got to pinch hit. I picked the first random card off the top of the stack, and pinch hitting for Mike Scott will be Mariano Duncan, and it may be a bad one, but let's see what happens. 229, 8 dingers. So Mariano Duncan, the Dodger. 229 right here on this column 3, and I roll an 8. Fly out. 1 down. Oil Can Boyd trying to lock up this game. The batter's Willie Randolph. We found him at 230 with 2 dingers. 230's column 3. I roll a 9. Single. They got the tying run aboard. There's Willie right there sitting ready to be knocked in with 1 out. George Brett, who had a grand year, he's going to use the top column with his huge batting average of 335 and 30 home runs. This could just turn the game around right here. Walk-off homer, perhaps. Let's see what happens. That's a 7. Strikeout. Even for a big bopper like George Brett. Strikes out. It's up to a young Ken Griffey Jr. This is basically rookie Ken Griffey Jr. 16 dingers, 264, 2 outs. 264 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 columns. So it's column 5. Ken Griffey Jr. Randolph on first. There's an 11. Ground ball to the pitcher. Play it first. And that will decide the ball game for Team A and Dennis Oil Can Boyd. They win the game 3-2. And so that's been my first ever game of Baseball Card All-Star Game by Cap Toys. Children at Play Toys. Baseball cards not included, but a very easy pick-up-and-play game. I basically intended to use this board for game plays, but you never know. I might want to break out the old baseball cards and play a simple game of baseball with random cards. Just give each player a position and you're ready to go. So thanks for tuning in to this unboxing video. Ready to Bear thanks you for commenting and liking and subscribing. Have a good day from Rod's Tabletop Hardball.